How y'all doing, folks? Welcome to this episode of the Outdoors Bound podcast. Glad you could be with us. I'm George Noleff. Smith Mountain Lake's blowing up right now when it comes to fishing. Stripers are up high in the morning. They'll take live bait slow trolled. After dark, they'll hit stick baits in the shallows while chasing shad and alewives. Largemouth getting caught on soft plastics, drop shots, deep cranks. Go a little deeper for them during the heat of the day. They're going to be closer to shore and dock structure early and after dark. The cats have really turned on live bait for flatties, pretty much anything for channels. They'll hit trolled and casted baits too. Getting good reports on bass out of Philpott, Clater, and Moomaw. Panfish and perch turned on out of Holiday. Just a reminder that the DWR's trout stocking runs through the end of May. June 1st and beyond, you can keep trout from delayed harvest areas like the Roanoke River at Green Hill Park in Salem.
That's a Spanish.
That's Spanish. Yeah, that's Spanish.
A lot of folks planning to hit the beach on vacation this summer. If you're going anywhere in Virginia, North Carolina, or South Carolina, you have saltwater options. There's sea trout and redfish to be had inshore in all three places, and the action can be fast on the beach depending on bait and migrations for fish like drum and Spanish mackerel. I spent a day fishing with Tim DeSanto of Tideline Charters in Ocean Isle Beach, North Carolina. We talked about all the possibilities.
You know, in the realm of like what makes an area good, you know, we have everything. You know, we have good tide, we have a lot of bait, we have a lot of current, but even still, you know, our area is not really known as a fishing destination. You know, it's definitely always been a vacation destination first that has good fishing, you know, and that we like to think that we've done our part over the years to show people that, you know, we have world-class fishing, especially certain times of the year. You know, March, April, May, September, October, November, you know, those 2-3 month periods there from an inshore standpoint is as good as it gets. You know, we have our bull drum migration in the fall. We have a extremely healthy speckled trout fishery. Slot redfish are in the creeks all year long. We're targeting them super shallow in the winter. You know, this time of year we're fishing a little deeper for them. Flounder fishing is fantastic. Black drum, sheep's head. Near shore we have the Spanish mackerel, king mackerel, cobia, tarpon in the fall. You know, so it's just really a little bit of everything. And you know, we kind of fly under the radar in comparison to places like Florida and Louisiana. But you know, this section of the Carolina coast can be as good as anywhere in the world.
Now, we were targeting sea trout today. Talk a little bit about that.
Yep, so you know, we target trout just about year round. How we do it, where we do it, and how successful we are definitely varies depending on the seasons. But you know, right now, this time of year is kind of our push of fish that you know, have already spawned or are getting ready to spawn. This is kind of right in that window there where they're going to start looking for cooler water. They're going to start moving north and offshore on us. So we tend to do quite well through April and May on the trout, just because everything is looking to feed right now before they don't know where their next meal is going to come from. You know, we've had a ton of rain and wind here lately, so we did live bait fish. We do fish with artificial baits all year round as well. You know, but right now it's a live bait game. So we had some live shrimp. We used our slip floats, and targeting moving water is the number one thing. You know, they are structure oriented, but maybe a little less so than the redfish. Our trout definitely move, and as long as that water's flowing, we got a shot. So, yeah, it was a little slow to start until we got that tide exactly what we wanted, but we found a really good class of fish, you know, in that 3 to, you know, pushing 5 pound range, and you know, and good numbers of them as well. So it was basically everything we wanted to do on the trout. We found a couple nice redfish as well. So it was just kind of a all around good morning.
And that was a big red we got there.
It was, yeah. So that's definitely, it's not uncommon that we find a big redfish piled up with the trout. But you know, that was definitely a large one for inshore. I mean, he was, you know, 29.5 inches or so, give or take. You know, big one. You know, and when we catch them on trout gear, you know, we're using 8 pound braid, 15 pound leader, small hooks. So it definitely, you know, it's a lot of fun when you can hook a fish of that class on the tackle that we were using. Most of the time when we're targeting the reds, we're using a little bit heavier gear. But yeah, that class of redfish is here to stay. You know, we're kind of in that 24 to 30 inch class of fish that's both inshore and nearshore. You know, we fish the Little River jetties. You know, it's a jetty system that we have here that's just over the border in South Carolina. Through the summertime and the dog days of the summer when it's just really hot inshore, a lot of our fishing actually takes place out there. So, you know, we found one that was kind of lost this morning, and you know, a lot of times when we find redfish in the cooler months, you know, basically anywhere from late January through the beginning of April, the redfish are in big schools. You know, when they winter, when we're looking for them in the creeks over the winter time in the shallow water, you know, we might fish 3 or 4 spots before we find them, but when we find them, we typically find all of them. Today, as things get warm, I mean, we had water temperature upper 70s, 77 to 79 degrees today. In the creeks, it was a little bit cooler when we got out there offshore, but, it's not uncommon that we find a single or, maybe 1-2 fish here or there, as they're looking for the same thing the trout are looking for. Everybody's just looking to eat this time of year.
We went outside and we were sight fishing Spanish mackerel.
Yeah, so this time of year is kind of the culmination of everything. Things are just starting to happen. Bait is showing back up. Weather's changing. So we ran out to the inlet. We were just trying to find maybe one more trout. And as soon as we kind of looked over the rocks, we just saw explosions on the water and we saw big schools of bait. So that means a number of things. We could have redfish in the bait, we could have cobia in the bait, and definitely Spanish and king mackerel. We used extremely light tackle, small little 3/4 ounce jigs, and I mean, we could have caught as many as we wanted to. There's just big, giant groups of Spanish. Most of them are a little small this time of year, in that 13 to 15, 16-inch class of fish, but a ton of fun on really light gear. And, to be able to kind of run and gun, all of a sudden you see them pop up over here, we run one direction, make a couple casts, catch one, all of a sudden now we got to move the opposite direction. So it definitely is a change of pace from, just kind of doing some bottom fishing and stuff that we do through the rest of the year. And, anytime that the ocean is calm enough for us to get out there and play around, we try to take advantage of it. With shallow drafting boats, we don't tend to, venture out too far when it's rough, but on a day like today when it was just slick out there off the beach, it kind of opens up a lot of possibilities for us. We looked for a cobia in the bait pod, but I think that was a little early on the cobia. There's a few around, but they haven't shown up really good yet. That's normally a early to mid-June bite for us. We did catch a big shark, but anything to bend the rod this time of year is welcome, and especially if we can kind of completely switch gears from what we've done in the morning and be successful on both fronts, it makes for a fun morning.
If I want to book a trip with you, what do I do?
So we're all over online. If tidelincharterfishing.com, there we do have a reserve now feature. The way that'll work is it'll show you our open availability. And then it's going to give you a direct line to me. I will get an update saying that somebody is looking to book a trip, but it won't book it automatically. I have to speak to you first. We do that for a number of reasons. Number one, in the booking process, it's going to be a short questionnaire, experience level, what you're looking to target. And for instance, if you say, we're really looking to catch some redfish, and I see that you've booked on Tuesday, but I also have Thursday available. If I look at the tides and Thursday's a little better, we try to make sure that we're keeping it in the window, and making the trip exactly what you want it to be. And that would be probably the easiest way for people to get a hold of us is online. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Tideline Charters, and my phone number obviously is listed on all of those. I'm not a big texter guy, just give me a call. Day or night, I'm happy to answer. If for some reason I don't answer, leave me a voicemail. I always tell everybody if I ever don't answer the phone, I've got something in my hands and it's either a fillet knife or a fishing rod. So, but we always call you back. And we do tend to book out quickly. We're very fortunate. That our business is made up of mostly repeat clientele, and our especially prime dates do book up quick. So it's never too last minute. We have certain days that don't book, and we do have cancellations. But there's a number of ways to find us. But however you find us, we'd love to take you fishing.
Speaking of saltwater, North Carolina's decided there's going to be no open flounder season there this year. All comes down to biomass and quotas. Now that could mean a boost in business for Virginia, where we have an open season. A lot of those North Carolina flounder anglers could be headed our way. You ever see a hellbender or a mud puppy? They're cool animals, the largest salamanders in North America. Now the West Virginia Department of Natural Resources is asking for your help to preserve the species. The WVDNR is asking anyone who comes across a hellbender in the wild to share where and when they saw it, and even provide a picture if you can. You can do that at the WVDNR website. The data collected is going to help biologists map the distribution of mud puppies, help them to come up with ways to help the species thrive. Man, there is nothing like the sounds of the beach to calm your nerves. This week's 30 Seconds of Solitude is from a stretch of sand and ocean just north of Calabash, North Carolina. That's all the time we've got this week, folks. Until next week, I am George Noleff, WFXR News Outdoors Bound. Good hunting and tight lines, y'all.
You build the mountains in your dreams. You lead the world so you can breathe. Whoa. walk on fields inside your mind. You cross the oceans and the skies. Whoa, it's like you found a better way. Don't fight them all on what they say. Just turn around and walk away. But if you leave again, just take me there with you. But if you leave again, just take me there with you. I wanna live this land with you. Touch the grass and feel brand new. Whoa, I wanna see what you can see. Have the faith and to believe. Whoa, it's like you found a better way. Don't fight them all on what they say. Just turn